Good morning, everyone. We are coming to you live via YouTube streaming, via Facebook streaming, and also via Skype online. Each one of you is welcome to this live streaming. Nanak, an art of listening. Nanak extols the importance of listening. There are two words, hear and listen. Nanak uses the word listening. You may wonder, why is it important to listen? And why is Nanak giving so much importance to the art of listening? Your experience says one may listen ere long, but nothing really happens. You seem to be like a smooth surface on which water cannot stay, and you remain untouched. If your understanding be right, then Nanak seems to be exaggerating the importance of listening. You have never really listened. It is said about he was passing on the streets of Calcutta, while he heard half a line of the sutras of Bhagavad Gita. That transformed his entire life. Just half a line he heard. We hear whole of Bhagavad Gita or Holy Quran or Bible and nothing ever happens. You really want to hear all that you want to hear. You never hear that which is being said. You listen only that which cannot change you, and that which is capable of transforming you, you never hear. When Nanak extols the significance of listening, he emphasizes that listening to that which transforms you. As such as you are, anything which is capable of transforming you, you do not listen. You are deaf to all this. This is not the understanding of the masters and sages alone. This has been the result of scientific research on human sense organs as well. Accordingly, it is said that nearly 98% of information, you listen and absorb only that which resonates with you. That which resonates with you. That which resonates with you cannot really transform you. That which resonates with your conscious mind relates to your conditionings and belief system. From the childhood, we have been conditioned according to our religious beliefs, heritage, cultural background, of the society that you live in, the country you live in. For example, the eating habits. The eating habits for the morning breakfast in Trinidad are different than United States of America or England or India in general. And if you are conscious about your health, you will not follow any set pattern. Instead, you will decide or plan your own breakfast menu. This is conditioning. If in Trinidad you have something else for the breakfast, for instance, veggie burger, or something which is nutritionally beneficial, but that does not form the pattern of the breakfast, it is a totally different kind of conditioning. And this conditioning has damaged your art of listening. That which resonates with you cannot transform you, and that which resonates with your conscious mind relates to the conditionings and the belief system you observe on a day-to-day basis. What is starting from your breakfast, lunch, dinner, and other habits. This alone is the obstruction. For transformation, the masters have to take you to your unconscious and subconscious mind. From there alone, your journey of transformation begins. Where has the process got stuck? Unless the master is capable of taking you to that, you are not going to be transformed. The process of transformation will not begin. Then suddenly you are connected to the cosmic layer, that which resonates with you. How can that transform you? This will simply strengthen your mind. It happened once. A man came to Buddha. He said, "There is no God, and I know you do not believe in God. What do you say?" He was an atheist. Buddha said, "Who says there is no God? God alone is, and there is no one else. God alone is." This was surprising to the person who was an atheist and who knew, because Buddha never talked about God. To talk about God is useless. It is better to talk about godliness, the quality. Jesus very prudently says, "I am the saltishness." What is saltishness? Is the quality of the salt that transforms, to which the salt is added. It lends its quality to the food and makes it tastier and edible. Godliness is that quality. When it comes to you, your life begins to transform. You speak in a different manner. Your understanding is totally different. When you look at a particular circumstance and situations, you are seeing not onto the surface but deep within. If you really go into the art of healing, on the surface it is mere expression of whatsoever is happening deep within. You are talking to someone All of a sudden, his shoulder shrugs and continuously shrugs. This is the outcome of something unconscious in an individual. When I am speaking, the body has to be still. The mind has to be still. Yes, when the words are spoken, there is a movement of the face expressions. It's not that I'm talking to you and I'm doing all these kind of things which you normally see when people are speaking. The movements of the hands, that is not necessary. What is necessary is where the words are coming from, to where these are affecting within you. Sufis call this tawajjuh, the transfer of the energy field. It happened once. The king of the time, Prasenajit, came to Buddha. Buddha was in a congregation. He did not stop the talk. He continued. Prasenajit was the king, emperor of the kingdom where Buddha was sermoning or staying. He expected as soon as he reached there along with the retinue, the message would be sent that the emperor is coming, Buddha will come running. But it did not happen that way. Trinidad is a so-called religious country. I had been to 2 occasions to the prayer sessions. In one of them, it was Navratri celebration. And in that temple, the Pandit was continuing the discourse. The president was sitting with his eyes fixed on the door. Because the Indian High Commission as a chief guest was to come. Indian High Commissioner is more important than your so-called Lakshmi, Saraswati, and all these gods and goddesses. Because in the heart of hearts, you know they are dead. You are simply fooling. What benefit you can get from the Indian High Commission, you will not get from Lakshmi Mata or Saraswati Mata or any other Mata. You will not get from them. But you will get that benefit from the Indian High Commission, Indian High Commissioner. So the door, because of the air conditioner in the prayer hall, the door was closed. Anytime the door opened, the president, who was sitting in the front row, and I was also sitting next to him, his face turns and he watches towards the door. Who has come? Who has opened the door? And there were people outside to inform as soon as the High Commissioner comes in. The regular service to Saraswati Mata, your so-called goddesses, will stop. The Pandit will stop sermoning, or one of the chief administrator, maybe the president, will go and welcome the High Commissioner, who is important. This is the conditioning. In another prayer, I was informed the Aarti was to be performed by the Prime Minister of the country. The person was vying for a seat as the Member of Parliament in election. So he has a great yajna, 7 nights yajna going on at his venue, at his residence. And the last day, the most important day, the Prime Minister was to come for prayers. Now, the so-called gods and goddesses whom you were worshipping had to wait. They were not important. What was important? Who was important? The Prime Minister of the country. And everyone has to wait for the Prime Minister of the country who got delayed for whatever reasons of preoccupation or whatever it is. The poor Bhagwan Ramchandra, poor Lakshman, poor Hanumanji Maharaj, poor Sita Mata, all have to wait because Prime Minister of the country is coming to do their arti. This is the outcome of unconscious. When Master Buddha did not get up, and Prasannajit came and he sat down as if he was nobody. In front of, when sermon is going on, a master is speaking. Everything else is insignificant because he is symbol of Veda Vyas. In all the Hindu yajnas, it is said that the Pandit who is sitting on the dais, he represents Veda Vyas. What kind of Veda Vyas is he? Is he Veda Vyas of the Indian High Commissioner or the Prime Minister of the country? Or he is representing God? No, but this is how things go on. So Buddha did not get up because he was the master. And Prasannajit felt insulted. He was sitting down and his big toe started shaking vigorously. When the sermon finished, Buddha's attention went to Prasannajit. Buddha said, Prasannajit, why is your big toe shaking? Prasannajit was already upset that he was not given the welcome which he was accustomed being given. And it so happened, he said, you continue your talk. It doesn't matter whether the toe is shaking or not. This is the outcome of unconscious. And in that state, he did not listen to even a single word that Nanak spoke that could transform him. Half a line of Bhagavad Gita transformed Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That which resonates with you, he was expecting, Prasannajit was expecting a warm welcome. Buddha will get up from his seat and welcome Prasannajit, the emperor. That which resonates with you, how can that transform you? That will simply strengthen your mind. When the persons ask Buddha, what do you say? There is no God. Then another person came and he said, I am a believer of God. What do you say? Buddha said, there is no God. The question is the same, but the person is too different. A master responds to your innerness, to your mind, not to the question. The question is arising out of certain unconsciousness which is surfacing at the moment. Buddha is addressing to that. A master is addressing to that. Two different people may be sitting down. When tawajjuh flows of the master, it works differently according to your inner disease or the inner state of the mind. There may be 1,000 people, maybe couple, let's take example, maybe 5 or 6 people will be sitting. The energy will work differently on everyone in relation to your innerness. In relation to your innerness. that which resonates with you will give you a new ground, a new foundation. On this, you can start a new structure. A Hindu mind listens to that which resonates and strengthens his Hindu mind. When a Hindu mind is dreaming or getting the vision, he will get the vision of the deity that resonates with him. If he is a Shaivite, he will only see the vision of Shiva, not that of Vishnu. A Christian will see only Jesus or Moses. So is the case with Sikh. Anything Baba Nanak, and so on and so forth. Mohammedan, Christian, Hindu, Sikh, all of them will get that which resonates with them. From 1989, I started the radio program. I spoke on various topics, paths, systems. When I am speaking on Guru Nanak's path of Japji, only those who resonate with that were listening to that. The one who is following the Sufi path will not listen to this talk. And this used to happen. And that still continues. There were few real lovers. To them it does not matter what I am speaking on. To them it was important that I am speaking, and that's all. That person can undergo the process of transformation. Truth is sublime. Truth that Buddha extols or Nanak is beyond religion and even your so-called gods and goddesses. Truth is solitary. Truth is auspicious. Truth is beyond duality. So is bliss or anand. This alone is auspicious or mangalam. The scripture says, or you can say, Satyam param dhimahi. Truth alone is Anandam param dhimahi. Truth, bliss, mangalam means you're talking about the welfare of all those who are around you. Mangalam param dhimahi. Truth has nothing to do with Sikh, Hindu, Muslim, Christian or Jew. Truth is beyond all that is known. Truth belongs to the realm of unknown and unknowable. Your conditioning, your values and your understanding has no correlation with truth. Beyond duality, conditionings and your belief system lays the realm of Buddhas, Nanaks, and all those who have attained to something. One who has not only attained to this oneness with that which is instead had harnessed this energy field for the transformation of human consciousness. To me, who is religious? Not the one who puts on a Hindu garb or Sikh garb, or who knows his scriptures, who knows the verses of Bhagavad Gita, or the paudis of Japji Sahib, or the Surah Fatiha, or something else. It is a deep understanding of oneness within, between body, mind and soul. There is a Chinese physician of Canadian origin, Dr. Zhang Shaw. He wrote a book, Body, Mind and Soul Healing. Body is the outermost dimension, mind in the middle, and soul is the ultimate, deepest core. When these three are in harmony with one another, really healing happens, not before that. At times there is a discontinuity between them or their connection breaks. The bulb that you have lights only when the current flows. There is a connection with the socket where the bulb is fixed and the socket where the plug is connected. So body, mind and soul healing. When there is harmony, bliss becomes the outcome or the energy that flows out of this. A religious person is one who has attained to inner oneness. The body, the mind, and the soul are in harmony with one another. And the energy that flows out of the union of these three is bliss or Anand. Who is overflowing that? The words, and sometimes the words, it is the inner harmony and bliss, the inner beauty that assumes the form of words quite sometimes, I said, in an individual. But in Buddha this always happens. It is the inner beauty, inner harmony that assumes the form of words. That's why they are meaningful. Beyond duality, conditionings and your belief system lay the realm of Buddhas, Nanaks. Nanak is a Buddha, one who has not only attained to this inner oneness with that which is, instead he has harnessed his energy field for the transformation of human consciousness. Japji is the fragrance of Nanak. When Nanak, one winter night, before that Nanak was 16 years of age. It was a rainy night, month of July or August. There was dark night, thunder, lightning, the raindrops falling on the galvanized roof of the Nanak's room. The night was advancing, traversing through the third quarter of the night. Nanak is continuing to sing. A sound, a dim light is shimmering from the peepholes of the door. A sound is emerging. Nanak's mother Tripta got worried. She gave a gentle knock at the door. Son, go to sleep. The night is advancing. Nanak remained quiet. Same time a bird, papiha, which looks towards the sun, towards the moon, and continues to carry on its song of separation. Pihu, pihu. Pihu means beloved. Moon is the beloved of this bird, papiha. That's how the name comes, because the sound that comes out of it, melodious sound of pihu, 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 beloved, 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 nothing else. The pihu, the bird, papiha started, the sound started coming. Nanak drew the attention of this bird, the song, the melody that was emerging out of it. Ma, are you hearing this sound? It is night, as you said, is is advancing, entering into the last quarter before the dawn. This bird is not asleep. It knows not of day and night. It is continuing to lament for its beloved. I do not know where is my beloved, whether I will attain to that oneness or not. Nanak continued to sing. Nanak did not do any tap, jap or yoga. He simply sang. And he sang with so much totality that song became his tap, austerity, that became his yoga, that became everything. Nanak continued to sing. And Japji Sahib, the emergence of 38 Pauri, are the expression of Nanak's ecstasy. Whenever someone will ask a question to Nanak or want to inquire something, he has two disciples, Bala and Mardana. One was Hindu and next one was Muslim. He will tell them, Chhedde Vaate, start the music. And Nanak will start singing. The inner joy, inner harmony will start manifesting in the form of Japji Sahib. Then at that time Nanak was 15 or 16 years of age. And the time when Japji was born out of him, Nanak was 33 years, 6 months and 16 days. Along with his disciple and friend Bala and Mardana, Nanak was sitting on the bank of river Bain outside his village. It was cold, winter night, dark. Nanak took off his clothes. Bala and Mardana began to ask, "What are you doing?" Nanak did not speak a single word. He took out his clothes and entered the river. Bala and Mardana thought that Nanak has taken a dip, dive, and he will come out soon. But time flowed on. Nanak did not emerge. Bala and Mardana both started sprinting on the bank of the river, calling out to Nanak, "Answer, where are you?" But there was no sound. There was no response. Bala and Mardana thought that Nanak either sank in the river or the current has drifted him. He ran to the village, woke up everyone. Nanak has been left by everyone. The flower has not yet blossomed, but the bud has also its own beauty and lustre. Nanak was bud at that time. The flower has not blossomed, but it was in the process of blossoming. Everybody came and they searched the river, could not find Nanak. They thought that Nanak has died or drifted away. This is the story. I said it is a story because it says something deeper. Because when something deeper has to be said or mentioned, we have to take the symbols. And symbols we have to take from the environment around you. So there is night time, and it is said Nanak disappeared for 3 days. When someone dies, the process of death to complete takes minimum 3 days. Hindus celebrate the 10-day ceremony and 13-day ceremony. Muslims celebrate a 40-day ceremony. Hindus, after the 13-day ceremony, they complete a 1-year ceremony. But 3 days after Nanak emerged from the river, and Ek Omkar Satnam, Ek one, Omkar, the existential sound that was there before, that exists now and will there be after everything is dissolved. Ek Omkar Satnam. Then this is the Mool Mantra. The message of Nanak is finished in 3 words. Ek Omkar Satnam. After that, whatsoever he spoke is an explanation. Karta Purukh, the doer, the only doer. Out of ignorance, we say, why are you doing this? It is the existence that makes you do things, because there is only one doer, and that we call it God. Nanak called it as Rab. And then entire Japji Sahib Ek Omkar Satnam, Karta Purukh, Nirbhav, fearless, Nirbhar, without any prejudice, Akal Murati, beyond time and space, Ajuni Sabhang, born out of his own free will. Although he was born to the parentage of Tripta and Kalu Mehta, Mehta Kalu, but the body is born through the union of ovum and sperm. That which enters the body has nothing to do with the parents. Parents simply create a womb. Depending on their innerness, a womb is created. Nanak could not be born out of an ordinary womb. He needed a special womb, and Mother Tripta provided that womb. Lalaji could not be born out of ordinary womb. Jesus could not be born out of ordinary womb, ovum and sperm relation. At the time when the physical relation took place between Joseph and Mary, there is a concept of Holy Ghost, the higher spirit. Although the body was of Joseph, although the body was that of Mehta Kalu, but the consciousness at that time was not that of Mehta Kalu or Joseph or Lalaji's father Chaudhary Harbaksh Rai. Had there been, they were in their physical consciousness, a Nanak, a Lalaji, a Jesus could not be born. The earth element which is the female element, Prakriti, remains the same. But it is that Purush, the male dynamizing factor, the positive energy. The concept of electricity, there is a positive pole and the negative pole. Positive pole comes from outside, positive energy comes from outside. The negative comes from the body of the right here. It is only the positive currents that comes into the system, and when it unites with the intensity of the negative current, a transmission or the illumination happens. When the energy field of Holy Ghost interacted with this ovum through the sperm of Joseph, a Jesus is born. It is the higher consciousness. It is the higher consciousness, the energy field overwhelmed the sperm that interacted with ovum of Mata Tripta to give conception of Nanak was from the beyond. This is how higher souls are born, consciously or unconsciously. A master does it consciously, whether it is Buddha, whether it is Baijit Bistami or anyone else. When you will listen, Nanak says, beyond all dualities and your conditionings. And when you do this, only then you can understand the message of Japji or the message of Buddha or the message of Jesus. There is nothing more difficult than changing your thinking and understanding. The entire process, the entire life is spent in changing your thinking, yet still your shoulders shrug. Prasanajit's big toe was shaking vigorously. Things like these happen because of your conditionings, your thinking. Nothing happens. Your conditioning are like invisible glass wall, and unless to hit this wall yourself, you have to do it yourself. You will never come to know this wall. Until then, open sky will appear to you like an illusion, a distant horizon beyond the glass walls. You are listening to me. Certain things may resonate with you, while others do not. That which strengthens your belief system resonates with you, and this you listen. And even if the contrary reaches, that which strengthens your belief system resonates with you, and this you listen. And even if the contrary reaches you somehow, you will give your own meaning and justify according to your understanding and conditionings. One thing is certain, you can never be wrong. This is your belief system and the impediments in the process of transformation. Accordingly, that alone is truth that resonates with you. If you have attained truth, then there is no need to listen. A Buddha need not listen. And that you do not have. If you proceed with this understanding that you already know truth, then how can you reach truth? Everyone thinks you talk to the person, yes, I know what is there in Bhagavad Gita. I know all the sutras of Bhagavad Gita. Sometimes you hear this girl can sing every single verse of Bhagavad Gita. You ask her to, what is the first verse of chapter 4 or the 8th verse of chapter 3? I only know a few. To reach truth, you have to be empty, bereft of all concepts and understanding. With your belief system, principles and scriptures, you can never listen to a master. And that which you think you have listened will certainly be your own echo. Then these words of Nanak will certainly appear to you to be exaggeration, that Nanak speaks through these 4 sutras. I will just chant some of these sutras. Suniye Siddh Peer Suninath, Suniye Dharti Dhaval Akash, सुनिए दीप लो पाताल, सुनिए पो न सके काल, नानक भक्ता सदा विकास। सुनिए, लिसन, सुनिए दुख पाप का नाश। सुनिए ईश्वर वर्मा इंद, सुनिए मुख सालाहण मंद, सुनिए जोग जुगत तन भेद, सुनिए सासत समृत वेद, नानक भक्ता सदा विकास। सुनिए दुख पाप का नाश. He is extolling, giving everyone, whosoever Nanak could remember, that each one of you listen. सुनिए सत्संतोख ज्ञान, सुनिए 68 का स्नान. I will speak on the man, why he uses the 68. सुनिए पढ़ पढ़ पावै मान, सुनिए लागे सहज ध्यान. Nanak, by listening you attain, you enter into the meditation. नानक भक्ता सदा विकास, सुनिए दुख पाप का नाश. सुनिए सरा गुणा के गा, सुनिए शेख पीर पातशाह, सुनिए अंधे पावे राव, सुनिए हाथ होवे असगाओ. नानक भक्ता सदा विकास, सुनिए दुख पाप का नाश. By listening you can come to the end of your sorrow and sufferings. When you listen beyond dualities, you can transform. And if you are really able to listen, then you will not find Nanak is extolling, exaggerating the significance of listening. Still there is another method of missing and the message of the masters. So whenever the message begins, you fall asleep. Sleep acts as a tranquilizer. It always happens whenever something is about to touch you deeper, you fall asleep. This is the reason that whenever you are listening to a master, you fall asleep. So master knows. He connects you to your subconscious and unconscious and plants the seed deep within, in the barren soils of thy inner sanctum. In the barren soils of thy inner sanctum, after I use the manure of compassion, then one day seed of awakening I sow. When you are in deep sleep, your unconscious, operating through your unconscious and subconscious, the seed has to be planted there. If you want seed to blossom, it has to be planted deep in the womb of the earth. Only then it can grow. The seed on your shelf or the cupboard or on the surface of the earth will not grow, will not undergo the process of transformation. Sleep acts as a security armor. It appears then as if you are listening, but you are not really listening. It always happens you are alert and awake when you are speaking, but when you are listening, you fall asleep. You are never alert and awake when you are listening. Constantly an internal dialogue continues and you remain unconscious. One who is capable of listening, capable of breaking the continuity of this inner dialogue, can really listen. Only then a real listening, a listening that Nanak speaks about, when inner dialogue discontinues, a new sky, a new horizon unfolds. All that is unknown up to now becomes known and familiar to you. This is the effort of all the masters, how to discontinue your inner dialogue. Methodology you may call meditation, inner silence, yoga, Satnam, or anything else, it matters not. All efforts are to discontinue this inner dialogue and how to create the open space within. Nanak continues. So will I continue in tomorrow's session. Until then, take care. And the process of this will continue in tomorrow's session. Until then, take care and do have a pleasant